Okay, I'm back, and looking at page 5 of the manual here, notice that it says dual rates, high of 100, low of 70. So I'm going to do that. So here in the function list is the DR and Expo menu, and so the dual rates, I'm going to put all on one all on one switch. Okay. Now I like 3 rates normally, but I think I am going to use three rates. So in order to do that, I have to pick a switch for the dual rates to be on. So I'm probably since this is the mode, and I don't want the mode to be beginner, intermediate, advanced and change the rates. So I'm going to use switch C here to be all of the rates in low or high, low, medium, or high probably. And so I'm going to use switch C because it's sort of right like that, and that'll be the one switch that controls all the rates. Okay. So the first thing to do is come down here and say which switch do I want. If I click it and let it start flashing, I'll move switch C, and it immediately selects switch C, and I have position 0, 1, and 2. Okay. So I'm going to leave it in position 0, and for that rate, let's see, so position 0, that switches all the way back, and normally I would have that as the lowest rate. So that's low, medium, and high rates. So position 0 will be the low, position 1 will be the medium, and position 2 will be the high rate. So low, medium, and high. So in the low rate, I'm going to move that down to 70. Okay. With an Expo, I don't like a whole lot of Expo. 20 is more than enough for me. Now Expo is this exponential curve here. If it's at 0, okay, and that's a straight line. This little line here is straight. Okay. If I move it way out here up to 40 or 50, you can see how that curve changes. That's too much curve for me. Some people like to fly that much. I don't. It's personal preference. So I'm going to use 20% as the exponential on the low rate. Okay, and I'm going to leave it on the switch on position 0. Come up here, change aileron to elevator. And so I want this to be 70%, and Expo of oops, wait a minute, let me put on the flight, nope, I want to put on switch C. Okay, and I want that to be 70, and the Expo to be positive 20, not negative 20. Okay, and so that's elevator. And rudder, I want it to be on switch C, and so that's going to be at 70%. An Expo of 20%. Okay, so we got rudder 70-20 on switch 0, elevator 70-20 on switch 0, and aileron 70-20 on switch 0, position 0, switch C. Now I'm going to go to the, down here you can watch me move the switch to position 1. So on position 1 on ailerons, I'm going to go halfway. I'm going to go to 85. Keep the expo the same. And so that's aileron, elevator, that's interesting. Why did it do that? I don't know. Curve 0 for elevator. Curve 1 is 70. I'm not sure why I did that, but that's okay. It's what I want. I'm sorry, I want this to be 85. 85. Okay, curve 1. And rudder. This is supposed to be 85. Expo of 20. Switch C. So rudder 85 at 20, position 1 of switch C. Elevator 85 and 20, position 1 of switch C. Aileron 85 and 20, position 0, position 1 of switch C. Okay, and so now I'm going to switch to position 2, and so that is going to be 100%, but I'm still going to have 20% expo. And that's good. Elevator 100%, 20% expo, and the rudder is 100% with 20% expo. And so we're good to go. So now I'm going to do it the other way. So rudder is position 2, position 1, that's correct, position 0 is correct, 70-20. I go to elevator, position 0 is correct, position 1 is correct, position 2 is correct. Ailerons, position 2 is correct, position 1 is correct, position 0 is correct. Okay, so that is DR and expo. Okay, so the next setup change I like to do is the throttle cut. And so I have to pick a switch for throttle cut, and I'm going to pick this switch over here on my DX9. It's the E switch. It's a 3-position switch. Because there's very few 2-position switches that I like, and that's the best one I find for throttle cut. And I use the same switch on all the aircraft so I don't get confused, so that's my throttle cut on all my other airplanes too. So I'm going to use that switch E. So I'm going to go into this, looking good here, throttle cut, and instead of inhibit, I'm going to let it start blinking and move switch E here. Okay, so notice it's got 0 watch the throttle here. So that's in normal mode. Notice it in 1 and 2 it's all the way down to -130. Otherwise this is just 100% idle. So throttle says 100% in position 0, and position 1 and 2 the throttle is cut, and so that's what I want. Okay, now because throttle cut's important, I would actually like to have that reported to me. If it's not a throttle cut, don't turn the radio on. So here's how I'm going to do that. I want a warning. Okay, remember, warnings happen when you turn it on for the first time. Custom voice setups happen when you flip a switch. So I'm going to go into system setup. Yeah, I want to go into system setup. I want to go down to warnings. Okay. My normal channel for this on my DX9 is to use channel 4. Okay, aux 4 I mean, aux 4. Okay, so I'm going to use aux 4, and to assign that to the switch I want, I go up to channel assign, come down here to next, and instead of aux 4 being the lower left whatever variable knob or whatever it is, LLV, I want that to be on switch E. I'll just flip the switch E and it picks it up, and that's the channel I want for that. So now aux 4 is assigned to switch E. Okay, come back out of that, come down to the warnings. Okay, and so the warning is going to be over 10%. So if you turn the radio on and that switch is not in the over 10% position, then it'll give me a warning. And so that's throttle cut. Now I also would like to have the radio speak to me when I do that. So I'm going to do a second thing that says custom voice setup. So I'm going to add a new sound, change report for switch, I move switch E. Okay, so position 0, oops, wrong one, switch E. Okay, so switch E, normal, position 0 is normal mode. Position 1 and 2 are both the same, and that's throttle cut, which is way down here toward the end. There it is, throttle cut. So I don't mind it hearing it twice. Okay. I probably went by it, didn't I? There it is. Nope, there it is. Okay, so normal mode, throttle cut, throttle cut.
Throttle cut, normal mode, throttle cut, throttle cut.
Alright, and if I try to start the airplane, oh, let me go back down to, so that's the voice anytime I flip it. Go back in here to system setup and system settings. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Where are my warnings here? Warnings, okay. So if it's over 10%, then do it a warning. That's going to not be at 0, and so that means it's in the position 0. I'm sorry, in position 1 or 2, and that'll give me the warning. Okay, so that's throttle cut with both a warning when you turn on the radio and a voice alert that you move the switch while you're flying. You don't want to bump that while you're flying, in other words. Okay, one more thing I like to do, forgot when we were doing the low, medium, and high rates. Which is, if I move this switch C for low, medium, and high rates, I want the radio to tell me that. So I want to go into Hobbyzone Sport Cub S. I want to go into custom voice setup and add a new sound event, switch change report, and come down here instead of inhibit. I'm going to flip switch C. Okay, so I got switch C. So position 0 is low rate. So I'm going to find it. I'm pretty sure it's in here something about 3D mode, normal mode. 3D rates, high rates, mid rates, there we go, low rates. So that's low rates. I want this one to be mid rates. Okay, so there is mid rates. And this is going to be high rates. Did I go by it? Probably. Nope, didn't go by it. Low rates, medium rates, high rates. So position 0 is low rates, medium rates, and high rates.
Mid rates, high rates, mid rates, low rates.
Okay, so now I have a sound for the panic mode, a sound for the throttle cut, and a sound for the low, medium, and high rates. Okay.